Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames. In this video, we're gonna talk about Diddy collapsing, Diddy realizing, and everyone else in Hollywood who have businesses, right? And when I say Hollywood, I'm talking about celebrities with businesses. So black entrepreneurs, pioneers, they are now realizing that when he said that he was going to go to the highest level of defense because black people aren't treated fairly in Hollywood. At first, they all supported, Ye being called out for his words and some of the things that he said. But then they realized why Ye wanted to go in self-defense of the black community, but they didn't get it. But these people are brainwashed to believe that Ye does not like his black brothers or sisters because Ye was about to open something to the world that they know that people know, but even though people know it, they're not bold and brave enough to talk about it in the manner of a Ye. And when Ye started doing that, people believed that he was crazy. People made him seem as though he was crazy. And they were like, hey, bro, call me. When all Ye wanted was the people who called themselves his friends to believe him, to rally their support behind him. But the reality is they could not have rallied their support behind him in the manner that he wanted to. But they believed that Ye was just being wrong and strong. They didn't take the time out to understand what Ye saw coming. So after that, we found people, stories coming out like Jay-Z, saying that they have basically, lowballed him, right? Because we also know that Jay-Z has Douce alcohol brand, and he claimed about the company lowballing him in taking them to court. Now we have Diddy, who is going at it with Diageo, right? And you may be asking, but how does Bethenny Frankel comes into all of this? Well, Diddy is collapsing. His businesses, they're not working out as they used to. Diddy's money is not coming in, not even as half as it used to, right? So Diddy is basically filing a lawsuit against Diageo claiming racial discrimination. And the reason why he's using racial discrimination is because the reality is Diddy really doesn't have a claim against Diageo. The market is changing and things are not what it used to be for tequila. But I do believe that what he's talking about as it relates to racial discrimination, it is definitely happening, but not from the manner in which Diddy is approaching it, okay? It is more likely from the manner that Ye has been trying to tell them about, which they have refused to listen, but now they're seeing what their brother was saying. So let's put things into perspective a little bit more real quickly, because someone asked me to talk about this again some more, and I'm gladly obliging. Now, Diddy joined Diageo back in I believe it was 2007. When he joined them, he took the company from moving 50,000 cases to over 2 million annually. So you know that he meant a lot to the company. But since then, there have been other tequila brands like Bethenny Frankel, Skinny Girl. We have Kendall Jenner. We have George Clooney and his Casamigos brand, just to name a few. So the demands for Diddy, Dillion, and Ciroc, because Ciroc was his first brand that he partnered with Diageo on, and that was doing very well. Ciroc was so big that many people could not believe it was owned by a black man. But as you know, with Hollywood, A black man should never have so much power, money, and status. What can we do to break him down? Diddy has been playing the big boys game, so let's approach him from a different angle. And that is what is going on with Diddy. But Diddy sees it as a racial discrimination when that's not the case in its entirety, right? Because Diddy is suing Diageo, claiming racial discrimination. And what Diageo is saying is that, look here, man, since you've joined us, there have been so many other brands like, George Clooney, Casamigos, and Don Julio. So Diddy is clapping back at Diageo to say, you are incorrectly marketing my brand. Because you consider my brand a black brand, you are marketing it as such and therefore only marketing it to urban customers, right? When there are other areas of opportunities for you to market my product. But you are neglecting marketing for Ciroc as well. So Bethenny is saying to Diddy, that's not the case. The market has changed, and as such, you're not getting the amount of sales that you used to. Let's get into this clip from Miss Bethenny Frankel. So guys, you can understand with someone of the magnitude of Bethenny Frankel, who is in the same business, who is telling Diddy that your claims are basically fake. This legal battle with Diageo is not going to go anywhere, because if Bethenny is able to outline this, then that Diageo can do a lot more in terms of paperwork and numbers. But let's get into what Bethenny has to say, and then I'll get back with the rest of my commentary.
Diddy is suing Diageo. He says they're not paying attention to his De Leon brand the same way that they would a white male-owned brand like George Clooney and Randy Gerber. So Diddy, like myself, broke into cocktails before every celebrity rushed in, whether it's Mark Wahlberg, Ryan Reynolds, George and Randy, Cameron Diaz, Mario Lopez, Kendall Jenner, every single housewife, Eva Longoria, the list goes on and on. So he got in early and he invigorated a dying vodka brand called Ciroc. They gave him a per case fee, and he did these amazing sort of Rat Pack type commercials, and they were excellent, and he crushed it. He made a lot of money. And I invented the skinny margarita and created the fastest growing liquor brand in history, first person to really market to women, first ever low calorie ready to drink cocktail. The key here is that we were first. Now these spaces are crowded. Now, because of people like George and Randy and myself and Diddy, tequila is crowded. And you actually believe that George and Randy are on those motorcycles going to Mexico to drink this tequila. You actually knew that I was drinking this skinny girl cocktail because I was, as were young women. What's happening now is Diddy wants the same attention in a time when the same attention is not going to be given, because big companies like Diageo know that this space has peaked, it's overcrowded, it's popped off. You're not going to have these wins again. It's just not going to happen. It happened years ago when Patron started it, and when I started women drinking clear tequila, and it's just swollen. It's not going to have the same resonance as it did before. I don't think Diddy's going to have a great case. I think it's fake news. I think black-owned brands are not paid attention to in the same way as a white-owned brand, but I don't think that that's the reason his brand is not thriving. And I know because Beam bought Skinny Girl years ago, then bought Pinnacle, which was also speaking to women, and they wanted to entice a larger buyer. And they don't care anymore about low-calorie cocktails because they have their bread and butter, which is their whiskey. And Diageo has their bread and butter, which is their George Clooney and Randy Gerber Protect the Realm tequila. So we were first, we cashed out, but going back in is a tricky thing. I'm going back in with Forever Young. It won't be the same experience. I'm walking into a new space, Rosé, which is tired and needs a new conversation, but it's not the same as when I invented something that had never been done before. And when he walked in as a black man into vodka, which also had never been done before, it's a different game. I don't think he's got a strong case. I don't know anything about it besides what I'm reading, but I think it's going to be hard to prove.
So, guys, as you can see, Bethany is putting things into perspective. She's not just talking, she's speaking facts. And with so many other celebrities coming into the space, you know that naturally there would have been a decrease in demand for Diddy's brand. But I do believe that race plays a minor factor in this because let's keep it real. In an urban area, the people there are going to say, oh, I'm going to support a black man. In a predominantly white area, people are going to support George Clooney, Eva Longoria over a Diddy. And sometimes race doesn't even have anything to do with it. But at the end of the day, I believe what Diageo was trying to do, they were saying Diddy is a black man. Let's push his product here because his people will support him. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a racial discrimination. And the reality is, many people are not liking Diddy as they once used to. And it has to do with how he has handled business with a lot of people, his name being in the media for a lot of conspiracy theories, because that's what we have to call it, a conspiracy theory, because if what is being said is not proven, then we cannot call it, factual. So I believe that there are numerous things at play here that is affecting him. And racial discrimination, I believe, is just about 5% or maybe 3% in this case. But I do believe everything what Bethenny Frankel is saying, 98%, because she's using facts and she's using logics. She's also helping Diddy to put things into perspective. And I believe what she did was really good right there. But Diddy has to learn. The industry will not stay the same every day. And when you want to rebel and when you want to say you feel attacked as a black man, now you know what Ye was going through. And the reality is, Ye's claims are far more valid than your racial discrimination over Diageo. And that's all I have to say about that. Let me know what are your thoughts, guys, and see you all next time. Bye, bye, guys.